Euro Series for the shifter car category. About to come out onto the circuit. Jeremy versus Giuseppe. That's the front row of the grid. CRG versus Birolart, the team that finished 1, 2 and 3 in the WSK Euro Series in 2021. A world-class field here. We've got 35 cars about to race the 21-lap, 25-kilometre final on a beautiful day here in the north of Italy. Jeremy will start out of pole position, a track that he knows so well, of course. Iglesias for the CRG team. It was, in fact, Danilo Albanese who was the fastest qualifier 48 hours ago. The Tuscan will start on the third row of the grid. It has been a brilliant weekend of racing in the KZ2 category. Let's check some of the highlights before we race the final in just a moment. To 100 kilometres an hour faster than a Ferrari in around about 3 seconds flat. Danilo Albanese, the Tuscan 106 for the Kart Republic team, taking pole position with a time of 45.315 on Friday. Jeremy Iglesias, 115 for the CRG team. They have been in dominant form with the likes of Alex Hirando, Victor Gustafsson, also Jorge Pescador, Brandon Nielsen as well. 102, that's the Australian. Oscar Targa, the second generation racer. The Grove Racing team driver who will start on grid 9 for the final in just a moment. Jeremy Iglesias, 115. He's won multiple races, of course, famously the World Championship right here a few years ago, and also the Winter Cup. They were both those victories for the Formula K team. You can see as he puts on the helmet now, the 35-year-old professional driver for the CRG team. Second year with the kart, which is manufactured just a few kilometres from the South Carter karting circuit. There's only Il Lione Centro Commerciale, the shopping centre between South Carter karting and the CRG factory. One of the most famous kart manufacturers in the world, of course, and they are in force this weekend. Jeremy to the right of your screen. Immediately behind is Victor Gustafsson. And then to the left on the second row, Alex Hirando. Splitting the CRG Road Rebel karts is Giuseppe Palomba, Il Napolitano. He finished third in the WSK Euro Series, former WSK Supermaster Series champion. The Birolart team, they finished 1, 2, 3 with Riccardo Longhi, MK, that's Moraine Kramers. And of course, Giuseppe in 2021 will race at Sano. That is the home circuit for Palomba in 2 weeks' time. A fantastic grid just a few moments prior to the start. Anyone off the front, well, drivers from the front 6 rows of the grid can win this. There's Albanese, Kart Republic 106. He's actually won the Rock International Final at this very circuit, I think, what, 2-3 times over the past decade. The Tuscan driver for the Kart Republic team of Dean Church, Dino Chiesa, on the third row of the grid. Alongside Genis Civico, the Modena Racing team driver from Spain. It will be a case of Vamos, Genis, in the 124 Birolart, powered by the TM for the Modena kart team. Andrea Dalle, another CRG driver, the Brescian, alongside Daniel Vasile from Pitești in Romania, driving for the 5-time world champion and 1-time Minardi Formula 1 test driver, Danilo Rossi. There is Daniel in the 104 Modena-powered DR kart as the karts are pushed into life, and we'll take a look at the grid. Jeremy, the Jet, he's like a missile, like a top-fuel dragster off the line. He'll start from pole position alongside Palomba. Gustafsson, Irlando for the CRG racing team. Albanese, the fastest qualifier. Genis Civico, Andrea Dalle, Daniel Vasile, the Grove Racing driver Oscar Target, and also in a CRG, the Finn, Paavo Tonteri. Also in a CRG is Jorge Pescador, the Argentine, alongside Michele Fontana, Samuele Leopardi for Zanchi Motorsport, and Brandon Nielsen also for CRG. Paparo, Akelci, Gafuri, Alessandro Buran for Renda Motorsport, Christian Cannibal, and Teo Blin. Nicola Lacorte, who's racing at the final 3 rounds of the Italian F4 Championship with us this year, alongside Robin Gleron, Pashovic, Bergmeister, Davies, Janko, Francesco, Il Lione da Roma, Nathan Sharp, Wojcic, Jaime Cortez, another Spaniard, out of grid 30. Tom Luyer, Gabriel Bizzozero, and the Sicilian Alex Marigliano out of grid 33. Jeremy Iglesias famously rockets off the line in KZ better than anybody. But yesterday, for the first time in living memory, he went from grid 2 to P4 by the first corner. It's the first time that anybody can recall that he hasn't made up places and simply bolted into the distance off the start. We'll see if that holds true to form in just a moment. 1-1-5, Jeremy on pole position for round 1, the final of the WSK Euro Series for 2022. Giuseppe Palomba, the former WSK Supermaster Series champion, third in the WSK Euro Series, as we said in our introduction, behind MK and Ricardo. There's Palomba. The fight between Jeremy and Giuseppe, CRG and Birolart. Jakob Bergmeister, the German, also in a DR kart, the famous karting family from Germany, the Bergmeisters, on the 12th row of the grid alongside Karol Pashovic. 1-2-5, the most appropriate number out there for Karol. On the 12th row of the grid for Team Birolart. Jeremy to the right of your screen, Palomba to the left. Albanese has missed the start. Albanese is not on the third row of the grid. The fastest qualifier has not made it around, and we are missing the Italian. Round 1 of the WSK Euro Series here at Lonato, minus Albanese. We race. Super start from Victor, and for the second time in living memory, Jeremy Iglesias has missed the start. The CRGs go 2-3-4. It is Palomba from the outside of the front row of the grid, the Birolart driver, third in the series last year. He's gone through to take the lead. Just repeating, Albanese has missed the start. Jeremy Iglesias probably should not have said anything in my case, because he has missed the start. He's still there. As the CRG drivers, Victor Gustafsson, Alexi Orlando, are right there with him, but Giuseppe Palomba will lead across the line for the first time. The final, round 1 of the WSK Euro Series. Great start by Civico as well. The Modena driver from Spain, and right up the inside on the opening lap or into the hairpin, Michael Paparo as well. So Palomba from Victor, the former WSK Champions Cup champion, Jeremy in P3. There's Orlando, Civico, Andrea Dale P6, Oscar in 7th place. This early stage of the race, and Palomba is gone. He's got 9/10 of a second over Victor in 1-1-7 and Jeremy in 1-1-5. Great start by the Brescian Andrea Dale. There's Civico, as again the two CRG teammates trade positions. There's Alexi Orlando, Alex Irish from Rotondo in the south of Italy, in position 4, just shadowing his teammates. And Andrea Dale makes it CRGs in 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then it's Civico. Oscar targets on the back of George the Fisherman. That's Jorge Pescador, the Argentine, ahead of the Australian Brandon Nilsson. Great start from the driver from Malmo in the south of Sweden. Of course he's driving a CRG. He's in position 9. And for Zanchi Motorsport, Samuele Leopardi rounds out the 10. If you're just joining us, Danilo Albanese, the fastest qualifier, has missed the start. A tragedy for the Italian, who was one of the favourites for the final here this afternoon. He's got away late. He is still circulating, but he's way down in 27th place, ahead of Alexandru Iancu, and behind Gabriel Bizzozero and Nicola Lacorte. We may get a glimpse of the Tuscan for Kart Republic. What a shame for Danilo Albanese. He will not win the first round of the WSK Euro Series this afternoon. Giuseppe certainly might. He's in position 1. Look at the CRG freight train. As Jorge Pescador, the Argentine, centred down the inside of the Modena Racing team driver, Civico. That was Albanese going through. He's down in position 26. He's just done the fastest lap of the race in this early stage, but it's almost pointless. He's down in 26 behind another Tuscan in Nicola Lecorte. So Palomba, P1, being caught now by Jeremy Iglesias. It was Jeremy versus Giuseppe off the line, and that's how it is in the early stages of the KZ2 final. Look at the CRG freight train, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 now with Pescador, Genesivico, Oscar, P8. That's the Queenslander coming into view now. Great start from Leopardi for Zanchi Motorsport going through. Had it Brandon Nielsen, Ivana Kelchek, Michael Papadopuran, Vasile Bertuca Tontari has fallen back to 16th as his teammates gang up, close in on Giuseppe Palomba down through the chicane. This is a good drive from Genesivico, a modern racing car team. They know this circuit oh so well after winning with Simone Cunati here a couple of years ago. The gap last time, 0.3 of a second. Jeremy's gone purple though. Jeremy is catching him. Jeremy with a 45.624. On the back of Palomba, will not need to be asked twice. Confirmation in the bottom left of your screen. Over the ripple strip, gets airborne. Into the hairpin, it is the Birolart ahead of 5 CRG Road Rebels. Up onto 3 wheels as the kart grips up and comes down the hill. Iglesias, there's Gustafsson, the 2022 WSK Champions Cup champion. Civico going through ahead of Target, Leopardi, and Brandon Nielsen, the Swede, in position 10. Jeremy closing in on the back of Giuseppe. We start lap 7 of the 21-lap final, 1/3 race distance exactly. Now Giuseppe Palomba tries to find some momentum, and he does so. Gustafsson in P3 smashes the ripple strip, does the Swede. The 2020 WSK Champions Cup champion, that was for the Lennox Racing Team in the Charles Leclerc kart. He also won the first round of the Supermaster Series a week after that event, has switched over to CRG, and at the moment he runs in position 3. Albanese in position 21. Look at the black and orange Road Rebel CRGs, but it is the Birolart, the team that dominated 1, 2, 3 in the Euro Series and the Supermaster Series for that matter last year. Giuseppe Palomba first introduced himself to the world of international kart racing in 2000 and, I'm stretching the memory here, I reckon when it was 2018, driving a privately entered Intrepid at his home circuit when he went wheel to wheel with the great Marco Artigo. Actually led the legendary 3-time world champion for multiple stages in the final before Marco finally overtook him. Went on to win the Supermaster Series, and Marco Artigo winning the 2019 Euro Series as well. Giuseppe Palomba finishing second that day. He's gone on to take multiple titles, and he runs position 1. As we approach half race distance, the KZ2 final, round 1 of the WSK Euro Series. Iglesias with a 45.522, a 45.542 for Palomba, so virtually identical. That's only a few centimetres difference between Giuseppe and Jeremy. Victor still sits there, just a second off the race leaders. Irlando, Dalle, Pescador, Civico, Target, the second generation racer, in position 8. We know his parents watching on live from their home in Queensland. As we see the CRG drivers trade positions, that was messy between Andrea Dalle and Jorge Pescador. As Albanese with the fastest lap of the race, but he's down in 20th place. He's done a 45.466. The gap, 0.3 of a second between Giuseppe and Jeremy. Pescador moving up by Dalle. Civico and Target just behind. Jeremy looks for fresh air. Good performance from the second Birolart driver, the young Australian, the 16-year-old Grove Racing driver, Oscar Target, his father John, winning the Marienburg round of the Formula Super A, as it was, European Championships back in 1993. The glory days of 100cc. No, we haven't forgotten, John. That was your boy disappearing at the bottom of your screen. OT in position 8. Leopardi for Zanchi Motorsport, and Brandon Nielsen, P10 as well. An aggressive move a few moments ago. Pescador going by Andrea Dalle. So George the Fisherman, the Argentine, up into P5 ahead of Andrea Dalle. We move into the second half of the final. Palomba down through the gearbox into the hairpin. Jeremy Iglesias, Victor Gustafsson. The gap has stayed virtually the same, 1.2 seconds. Albanese still fighting with another Italian, Alex Marigliano, down in 21st place. What a disappointment for the fastest qualifier. 45.315 48 hours ago on Friday, but has missed the start. He's still circulating, but he won't make the podium today. We've also lost the two Italians, Michele Fontana and Nicola Lacorte. They're both out. As Palomba, their countryman, leads across the line. The gap, half a second between Palomba and Iglesias. Giuseppe's got this under control. Two tough characters in the world of kart racing. The 35-year-old professional Jeremy, second year with the CRG team, runs a little bit wide as he goes up the hill. Giuseppe Palomba hunched over the steering wheel of the Birilla, powered by the TM and the CRG freight train. Then Civigol, then it's Target, who looks over his left shoulder to the Zenki Motorsport driver, Samuele Leopardi, who's in P9, and Nielsen in P10. Bertuca has come from a mile back. Christian Cannibal is in P11 ahead of Michael Paparo. Ivana Kelchek. Michael Paparo, the 2016 WSK Supermaster Series champion. We're racing at his home circuit in 2 weeks' time, Circuito Internazionale in Napoli, simply known as Sano, for the second round of this Euro Series. The gap, 0.7 of a second. So the CRGs run second with Iglesias, third with Gustafsson, fourth with Ilando, fifth with Pescador, sixth with Dalle. But it's the Birilla who's not only leading but pulling away. Palomba is pulling away from the CRG freight train. There's 5 of them trying to catch the driver from Naples in the red and white machine built in Lissone. The gap last time, 0.7 of a second. Oh, Jeremy says not so fast. And now he takes 0.2 of a second out of the Italian, the 35-year-old Frenchman. Look at the CRGs coming through. There's Civico. There's Target sideways. Leopardi. Brandon Nielsen superbly. That is Bertuca. That's Paparo. Ahead of a Kelchik, Vasile, Buran, Tonteri, Glerom, Leone, Francesco, the Roman, ahead of Luyer, Marigliano, and still Albanese down in P21. 7 laps remaining at the end of this one. Vasile going through. His teammate, Jakob Bergmeister, in P24, ahead of Karol Pashovic, P25, in Kart 125. 108 kart was under investigation a few moments ago, and you may have just got a glimpse of the board, which is about to be displayed for Tom Luyer, who had a huge accident right here in the Praga Kart 12 months ago. He's back on track. He's been in the top 5, but it's not his afternoon. He's just been handed a penalty of 3 seconds for a starting infringement. That puts him down in 21st place. As we see Janis Civico just ahead. In fact, he's got by Andrea Dalle last time round. So Janis, the Spaniard, by the Brescian. So the gap was 0.7 of a second, now 0.5. Now as they come across the line, it's down to 0.3. It's not over yet. Stand by for a nail-biting finish. Palomba has led from the start. Jeremy over the ripple strip, determined to take the victory here this afternoon. He's taken half a second out of the race leader in the last 4 laps. The gap did blow out to 0.7 of a second. It's down to 0.369. Down through the chicane to finish lap 16. Victor, P3. Alex Irish, that's Alex Irlando in P4. Head of Jorge Pescador and Janis Civico, the 2 Spanish drivers, 5 and 6, both driving a CRG. And still the CRGs, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But Palomba leads in the Birillard. The gap, 0.3 of a second. Iglesias driving the wheels off the CRG. As we lose Michael Paparo on the top of your screen, the Italian has retired the Praga Kart. Bad luck for Michael. We'll see him back at his home track in 2 weeks' time for the second round of the WSK Euro Series. They race down the hill into the old Turn 5 chicane. down through the gearbox. Jeremy visibly catching him. The gap on our timing screen on wsk.it is 0.3 of a second. He's got him in his sights. Giuseppe Palomba is a tough customer though. He's quick as well. And he's got the race lead. 0.4. It's seesawing. Who has managed the LeConte tyres best? Over the ripple strip, puts it in the middle of the track, trying to get fresh air feeding into that TM engine. Of course, the Penta fuel being drunk at a rapid rate by these 125cc engines. The KZ category putting out almost 50 horsepower down through the chicane to complete lap 18 at the end of this one. There'll be 4 laps, exactly 5 kilometres to race in the KZ2 final. Round 1 of the WSK Euro Series for 2022. Across the line this time, it's still 0.4 of a second. It's possible, but it's going to take one almighty effort for Iglesias to take the victory and the lead into Sano in 2 weeks' time. Head down behind the steering wheel. Late under brakes goes the Frenchman behind the Italian. Riccardo Longhi taking the 2021 and 2020 WSK Euro Series. Marco Artigo in 2019. KZ2 in 2013 was Riccardo Negro. Max Verstappen winning in 2013 in KZ1. Simas Verses, who's here at the circuit, he won the Euro Series in 2012 in KZ2. Jorda Pex in KZ1. 2011, the champions Joel Johansson in KZ2. KZ1 Rick Dresen, and the inaugural champion of the WSK Euro Series some 12 years ago, Paolo Di Conto. 0.5 of a second. Giuseppe Palomba will call it now. He will win the first round of the WSK Euro Series. He comes down the hill. The gap is almost 0.6 of a second. Jeremy got it down to half that. He throws it sideways down through the chicane. Into the hairpin, the Birolart versus the CRGs, the team that finished 1, 2, 3 last year. Final lap now for the Napolitano driver. 1.2 kilometres between himself and another victory in WSK World Competition. The gap at 0.5 of a second. Jeremy won't do it. He has won so many famous races at this circuit, but the 35-year-old professional French driver is about to finish in P2. Giuseppe chokes the engine, looks over his right shoulder. A tighter line as he races down the hill into the chicane for the final time. He finished 3rd in the WSK Euro Series to his 2 Birolart teammates, Moraine Kramers and Riccardo Long in 2021. He is now 2 corners away from victory. Into the hairpin for the final time. Too little, too late from Team CRG. Giuseppe Palomba wins round 1 of the WSK Euro Series here at South Garda Karting. Jeremy across the line in P2 and Victor the Swede home in 3rd, also for Team CRG. What a world-class drive from Giuseppe Palomba to take victory by half a second over the pole sitter, Jeremy Iglesias. The CRG team, they have finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th. But it's the Birolart, the Kart, the team from Lissone, who dominate round 1 of the WSK Euro Series in KZ2 here this afternoon. Palomba takes the victory here at the centre of the karting universe, South Garda Karting Lonato. This is how he did it. Jeremy Iglesias from pole position, normally like a top fuel dragster off the start. It wasn't a bad start, but Victor from the 2nd row of the grid, his teammate, got by. And as Victor, Alex and Jeremy, the CRG teammates, fought, Jenna Civico in that battle as well initially. Palomba simply said, later, boys. And the driver from Napoli took the race lead, which he would not cede for the entire race. Albanese missing the start after qualifying fastest on Friday. The gap seesawed between 0.3 of a second, blew out to 0.7. And then Jeremy gave it absolutely everything in the dying stages. Cut the lead down to 0.3 of a second. Hit every apex, every ripple strip as well. Late under brakes. Giuseppe Palomba, a classy drive under control, and he wins round 1 of the WSK Euro Series here at South Garda Karting. Jeremy Iglesias home in P2 and Victor on the podium in 3rd place. The CRG attack comes up 1 short as Palomba, the Italian for the Birolart Racing Team, takes the victory from Iglesias. Gustafsson, the Swede, home in 3rd. Alex ahead of Jorge, Jenis, the 2 Spaniards, and it was Dale Leopardi. Good drive from Christian Bertuca, who came from a mile back on the grid, and Ivan Kelchik in the Lemix racing kart in position 10. Giuseppe Palomba, Jeremy Iglesias, 70 points each. They are tied as we go into the 2nd round of the WSK Euro Series, but critically, it is on the home track of the race winner, Giuseppe Palomba. That's in 2 weeks' time. They're both on 70 points. Victor Gustafsson, almost half that, 38 points for the Swede, and Alex Irlando on 30 points, heading into the 2nd deciding round in 2 weeks' time. Giuseppe Palomba takes the victory in round 1 of the WSK Euro Series. He'll stand on the top step of the podium. The presentations in just a moment. A thrilling KZ2 final for the first round of the WSK Euro Series. The team that dominated in 2021 have come up on top just against the might of the CRG racing team here this afternoon. Ready to get underway with the podium presentations for KZ2. The LeConte caps go on Victor, Jeremy and Ricardo's heads. We're ready to get underway with the podium presentation here this afternoon for the first round of the WSK Euro Series. In third place for Team CRG, Victor Gustafsson. He gave it absolutely everything. He's come up just a few tenths of a second short. He finishes in P2, the Frenchman for Team CRG, Jeremy Iglesias. Terzo nel campionato l'anno scorso, ha vinto la prima tappa quest'anno. He came third in the championship last year. He's won the first round going into his home circuit in 2 weeks' time. Winner of the first round of the WSK Euro Series for the Birol Art Racing Team, Giuseppe Palomba! Third place for the CRG racing team from Sweden, Victor Gustafsson. Second place for the CRG racing team from La France, Jeremy Iglesias. The winner of the first round of the WSK Euro Series, Il Napolitano, Giuseppe Palomba. The national anthem of Italia. The podium for the first round of the WSK Euro Series. Third place, Victor Gustafsson. Second, Jeremy Iglesias. And the winner here at Lonato, Giuseppe Palomba. Una parola con Giuseppe. Giuseppe, sotto pressione, che gara!
Sì, è stata molto dura, sapevamo di essere forti, ma quando siamo stati squalificati nella qualifica, quindi sono partito 31esimo, diciamo che l'ho vista parecchio dura. Alla fine, manche dopo manche, prefinale e finale, sono riuscito sempre a recuperare, andando sempre forte, e alla fine siamo riusciti a vincere. Devo ringraziare tutta la Birol Art e soprattutto VT Racing per i motori.
E tra 2 settimane giochi in casa, 70 punti per Jeremy, 70 punti per te. In 2 weeks' time you're both on 70 points. We race at your home circuit.
Sì, vedremo, corriamo in casa, ma non è detto che sarà facile. Sicuramente ce la metterò tutta e vedremo di fare il bis. Grazie.
Grande Giuseppe, il vincitore qui a Lonato, the OK final right here at South Gutter Karting in just a moment. The final of the afternoon here at South Garda Karting. This will be an absolute dynamite